Greetings and salutations, my Internetonians. Welcome to the show. Come on in. Take your shoes off. Set a spell. Let's have a little fun tonight. It's Friday. Finally Friday. I got to be elsewhere tomorrow playing a show, so tonight I get to party like it's 1437 or something. Some such. Anyway, welcome to the show. This is Untethered Live. I'm your host, Jake Johnson. Yes, this is my real hair. Come on in. What's up, Fab Daddy? Nice to see you, my friend. Come on in. How are you? How are things? How's the week been for you? There's like people pouring in right now. That's pretty cool. Excellent. I did learn something, though. I noticed that my show was running a little slow this month. Like very few people in the live stream. And then I realized for the past year, I've been propagating this show over 12 platforms, and a lot of people are watching on the other platforms. So that's why they're not here, because they're there. It's weird. It's like growing, but it looks like I'm not growing, but I'm growing. Growing. Happy Friday to you too as well. I'm glad you had a busy week. Busy means you're making money or something. Progress. It's good progress. What a lovely day it was today. It rained all morning, and then sunshiny all afternoon, and then a brief respite of rain, and then nighttime. Sweet nighttime. Sweet nothings. I forgot to turn my phone off. I'm sorry. Shut up. Hey, Faye. Nice flag. Please explain the origins. I will. Wait till everybody gets here. I will. I'll make sure everybody knows that I believe in a well-regulated militia to ensure a free state and that all people can keep and bear arms and have a well-regulated militia, which we do not call the Salvation Army or the other one. Not the Salvation Army, the other one. You know the one, the sandbaggers. My brain is fried. I can't think. I'm looking at it and couldn't remember the whole thing. No, not Goodwill. The Army, the reserves, the people that they call when they want to, like, put sandbags out for hurricanes and stuff. National Guard. That's what I was trying to think of. Somebody suggested this past week that the National Guard was the well and regulated militia. No, that's not what that means. That also, even though it, according to the movie Rambo, it's just a bunch of night clerks for weekend warriors, that is a government institute. That's not what a militia is. It's the opposite. So anyway, I'm just rambling. I don't know what I'm talking about. You can't listen to a long hair. All peace and love and putting flowers in the tips of pistols. How are things? What have you done this week? And I will explain the flag, by the way. I'm just waiting for some people to get here. Because it was a gift. I know my constitutional rights up to 7. Well, I used to know them all, but my brain is kind of first focused on other things and then just kind of, I've got so many things in there that I can't call up anything. It's too much. I've got a random hair. That's why I keep touching my hair. I'm not like trying to cause tension to it. Something's touching my nose, and I can't seem to figure out where it's coming from. And you may ask, why has he got his hair down? Well, because I wanted to. No other reason. I just didn't put the thing in. You know, the thing. It happens occasionally. I swear I've got I think I got a, there it is. I found it. Whoop. I lost it. I found it. Nah. Stay out of my nose. Whew. That was an ordeal. I can't describe to you the pain of having something touch your nose while on live TV until you've experienced it. You just can't imagine. I don't care. I don't care how you look. Just being honest. I didn't ask. I was just talking. I don't care how you look either. You look like a line of text with a orange F. But thank you for sharing. I'm glad that you approve. So tell me something. I've asked 3 times. I'll ask again. What have you done this week? Correct, I am an orange F. Somebody asked me the other day, I think it was Wednesday, they were leaving me a tip, and they asked me, said, is your Cash App the one with the J on it? I was like, well, maybe. I don't know. I've never tipped myself. Apparently it was a yellow J, the picture that comes up when they go to whatever app it is they use. I didn't know. So tonight, among other things, I'm going to briefly discuss the penultimate episode of Star Trek Picard, because I mentioned the previous 2 seasons earlier, which were hot garbage, nonsense. But season 3, different showrunner, different group, very different results. And if you haven't seen it, treat yourself. It's worth it. I played guitar, played pool, helped old people, and cybered up. What does that mean? Cybered up. Mean you got on the internet? Or you implanted cybernetic things into your body? That's terrifying. I like the helping old people thing. I do that too. Correct. Understand. Which goes perfectly with what we're talking about tonight, because, spoilers, the Borg are involved. The Borg. Yes, the Borg. I joined the Borg. See? Great minds. Anyway, my first reaction was to be like, the Borg again. But if you consider all things Star Trek, The Next Generation, they're kind of the big bad, so it kind of makes sense to end the season. In case you didn't know, this is the end of all things Star Trek, The Next Generation, Star Trek Picard. This is the last season that'll ever be made. He's retiring from the character and from the world of that genre. So it's fitting to end that way. They brought back Alice Krieger, the original voice of the Borg Queen that was on the movie First Contact, I believe it was. And that was a brilliant thing, brilliant stroke of genius to bring her back, because there's been 3 other people play the Queen since then. But she was the best one, most terrifying one. And I'm not going to break the episode down or anything. There's too many channels doing that already. I'm just going to tell you how I feel about the show and how I feel about the showrunner, Terry Matalas. I think that he's getting a lot of praise that he doesn't really want, but he deserves it. But I also think that it's put him in a position, because the original showrunner, Alex Kurtzman, who is now off doing God knows what on other TV shows, Hey, are you wearing a wig? Of course I am. Look. How dare you even suggest such a thing? This is my hair. Just don't hate me because I'm beautiful. So anyway, Alex Kurtzman, as I was saying, who's gone off to do other television shows, pretty much gave Terry Matalas a job, who was a guy who worked on previous Star Trek shows, The Next Generation and Enterprise and Voyager, respectively, in Deep Space Nine a little, I think. He was there. He was involved in all of that. He was of the Beeman era of Star Trek. Anyway, basically hired him and gave him a quarter of the budget that they had for the previous 2 seasons and said, here, do whatever you want. I got other things to do. And Terry Matalas knocked it out of the effing park, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, grand slam, crowd goes wild, internet nerdgasm everywhere. It was that way. And I think that probably pissed Kurtzman off because he did 2 seasons, that's 20 episodes, and everybody hated it. It was garbage. This kid comes in out of left field and knocks it out of the park, and everybody loves it. It's just as Star Trek as Star Trek can be, considering what we've had for the past 10 years. So I think that's a predicament he didn't really want to be in. That being said, Kevin told me to say that. Just say the words, Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. Do you think my hair looks like Marsha? Or that other girl, Jan? Isn't that sweet? I knew you liked it. Hello, Kevin. How are you? All right. On to the explanation. I received a package yesterday, and in that package was this Second Amendment flag here that reads, I got to turn around to read it. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state and the right to the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's a lovely flag, and you see it's hanging up along with this, where's it at? This little guy right here who I got for Christmas. He's a rocker, old rocker like myself. I also got this lovely long sleeve t-shirt as we go into the summer. My favorite part. Let's go, Brandon, on the sleeve. That's lovely. And in the box was this Liga Perfecta X-Card gift set. Beautiful little box. And inside was a shot glass, a flask, and 2 lovely gin-flavored guitars. Rum-flavored guitars. Cigars. Didn't have any bourbon in it, of course, but it was a flask. So I took the liberty of filling it up. Nice flask. Nice cigar. Rum flavored. And a lovely shot glass. Here's to you, Kev. Nice. Thank you guys very much for the lovely gift. It's much appreciated, and I will respect it dearly. Now, if you'll just send me some crystal meth that I can smoke in this Pyrex glass, that would be lovely. About $50 to $100 worth should do. It's a nice cigar, too. Very, very tasty. Thank you very much. I am honored, and I appreciate the gift, and I appreciate being in your thoughts. And the rest of you can suck it. So now, briefly, this previous penultimate episode of Star Trek Picard covered the gambit. Of course, the Borg are the bad guy, and Picard's son is the carrier for the bad guy business. All of Starfleet has been conscripted into the Borg. They've been assimilated because resistance is futile. And they had to, all the ships throughout all of the Starfleet were all connected together in an attempt to have like an armada that all works as one ship all together. Very Borg-like. And in the process of doing so, they used the transporter to infect everybody. Anybody that's transported up to a ship gets infected with Borg DNA from Jean-Luc Picard, who did not have Irrimatic syndrome, but instead had a seed planted in his head, in his DNA from the Borg. And so everybody turns into Borg, and all the ships are connected. So they escape on a shuttle pod, the original crew of the Starship Enterprise. They go back to the hangar bay 12 on the museum space station. And in it, lo and behold, is the Enterprise D, completely reformed, rebuilt. And it's old, it's analog, and it's not connected to the system. And they warp off to save the day. It's a beautiful episode. Very Star Trek, very sci-fi. I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you haven't treated yourself to seeing it, I suggest you do so. And watch it on Paramount Plus, because we want more Star Trek like that. Because likely, there ain't going to be no more. That's it. Unless it makes a lot of money, and then they'll have no choice but to make more. So go to Paramount Plus and watch it there. I don't care if you pay for it or not. Use a free trial if they got it. But watch it on their platform so the numbers show that how much it was watched. Watch it 3 or 4 times. Put it on a loop and go to bed. That sort of thing. I don't like Picard either. But you'll like Season 3 if you haven't watched it. The first 2 seasons were hot garbage. In fact, all Star Trek that has come out this decade has been hot garbage. Stuff I wouldn't watch a second time if my life depended on it. But Season 3 is worth it because Terry Matalas took over for Alex Kurtzman. Terry Matalas then called all of the old guys that made the old show and brought them out of retirement, and they made the new show on a quarter of the budget, which means not a lot of sci-fi special effects. Not a lot of things going on, but very focused on story, which is what Star Trek always was. So it turned out to be good. Fuck Bud Light. Drink Coors. And the first 2 seasons is Bud Light. I would agree with you 100%. And so is all of Discovery, and even Strange New Worlds, which I kind of like. Even that is garbage, really. I mean, if you really think about it. It's not good. It's good by standards. It's good by comparison, but it's not good Star Trek. But Season 3 of Picard is, and I'll stand by that. Go watch it if you don't believe me. Anyway. ATL, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Enterprise was good. And it was not appreciated at the time when it came out. And I think it's because there was so much Star Trek on TV that they just didn't appreciate it. But if you go back and watch it a few years later, it's actually really good. I enjoyed it. Boy, it's hot in here. drink in your price range. What are you saying? I don't know what you mean. I do drink in my price range. I don't drink. That was because somebody gave me a gift, not because I wanted to drink. You can make your own booze. It's not hard. That's true. What's up, Caucasian Sasquatch? Grunge? Just me. And a cigar. Interesting. Very interesting. What say you, Caucasian Sasquatch? My letter doesn't work. Oh, no. The Z? That would be terrible. The last letter of the alphabet doesn't work on the computer. That would be the Z. The Z. I'll say, I found a van. Excellent. That mean I can have your truck? Marcia. Yes, congratulations indeed. So do tell, what is the van all about? Hilarious. This is a good cigar. Thanks, Kev. Mighty fine taste you have there. It's a 94 G20. No rust, 5.7 V8. No tow package, but I'll find one. However, it is in Louisiana. Fly there, drive back. Nice, Caucasian, says April. What did you name the van? Did you name your van already? He hasn't got it yet. He just found it. I love it when a plan comes together. If I let my hair grow that long, it would look like an afro. Well, mine does occasionally look like an afro. But it just looks like this. Lots of hair. Lots and lots and lots of hair. The bog, not the bog. Engage. It stops here. I hate that movie, by the way. I named my billiards cue. Her name is Ophelia. Ophelia. You mean Ophelia or Ophelia? Because that's an off. Just asking. Too many F's and too many E's. Talking to them unless someone buys it before Monday. I'll be headed that way right after the bank opens. Cool. Well, I hope you get it, my friend. I truly do. My pistol is Sweetness, and my AK is Old Bess. Yeah, baby. I don't know what mine is called. I just know the sound it makes when it kills a man. Another priceless movie. does taste like rum, by the way. Extremely. Never named a weapon. Never named our weapon. Any weapon. I never named a weapon either. I guess you could call mine Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Wesson. Good. Bang any louder. Bang and louder bang. That's right. That's the sound it makes. Bang, bang. Well, I tell you what. It's simple. I don't show my real guns off. Because I was taught when I was very young that if someone sees my gun, you should probably be shooting them with it. And not to threaten unless you're serious. Because if someone pointed a gun at me, I would not assume they were joking. I would not assume it was unloaded. I would not assume they had no intentions of firing. I would kill them immediately, if possible. Why not act the same way? Don't threaten. Don't point. Just either use it or don't. So you'll never likely see any of my guns unless you're dying by them, and I hope that never occurs. Call my weapon your mom. 2 cocks and she blows. Bravo. That was good. Fab Daddy nailed it. Right on, says April. Even the girl in the chat liked that joke. I love the cigar, but I need some tobacco that don't taste like rum for a minute. Anyway, I got me a nice little show tomorrow and a cookout to attend tomorrow afternoon. So I'm going to be busy all day tomorrow. And it's close to home, so that's a good thing. I actually get to ride my motorcycle to a show for once. And I get to come right home afterwards, which is nice. I won't be out until daylight. Right on the head. You guys are funny. So, what TV shows have you guys been into lately? Is it any good or bad? You tell me. Because just about everything I'm watching sucks. Mandalorian is now the woman DeLorean. Mario Brothers is in the name. Has a ninja princess, no queen, but princess. That's weird. Who saves the day for 2 incompetent plumbers. That's making lots of money on the box office right now. I have a wine black and mild that is the only cigar that don't stink. Watching movies, not TV. Well, what movies are you into? That's fine. Movies are fine. We're talking about media. It doesn't really matter at this point. TV shows are made like movies now anyway. I'm just here to tell you that if you have skipped Star Trek Picard because of the first 2 seasons and the garbage that they are, don't make the mistake of skipping season 3. It's worth it. They knocked it out of the fucking park. I give you my word on it. It is still a little bit. They refer to season 1 and 2 a couple times, but they also shit on it a lot too. So you got to consider that who's making it. And Bad Robot is still making it. So, and the people at Secret Hideout, which are the 2 companies that are involved in that with Paramount at the moment. But it's worth watching, I promise. And when it comes down to it, at the end, they deliver. The last 2 episodes are going to be brilliant. The penultimate episode is brilliant. The last one remains to be seen, but I assure you, I've heard from people who have watched it, it's worth it. So, go check it out if you're a fan. If you're not, disregard this conversation. It's not for you. I'll talk about something you like eventually. Last movie was Jexy. I haven't seen Jexy. What's it about? I think I know. I think I've heard about it before, but I haven't watched it. I like Stranger Things. That is really interesting. Season 1 or the new Stranger Things? Shazam and 65 were the other 2. I heard 65 blows. Does it? I know what to expect from Shazam. It's a soulless superhero movie, just like all the rest of them are. But probably decent to watch. Decent enough. Probably moves very fast all the way through, but it's a good story, so it don't feel like you wasted your time. Caucasian still talking about the van says, I did find the same Model 94 in East Dublin, a Winnebago conversion, but it looks sus. I can't put my finger on what is wrong with it, but ... It kind of looks like an ambulance. So, that's what you're into. Jexy is a comedy about a cell phone app like Siri. Oh, so it's the bargain bin Her. I got you. They made that movie. It's called Her. And it stars Joaquin Phoenix. With a rather suspicious mustache. I'm watching the last season of The Blacklist. I'm going to miss it after it's gone, after it's over. Yeah, I got it. I hadn't watched it yet. Don't give anything away. But that was a good show. It got kind of weird in the middle, but I think they're going to cap it off pretty good, probably. I like James Spader. He's a pretty good guy. I don't actually know that. I just know that he got along with William Shatner, so that must mean something. Her is way different. Okay. All right. I'll check it out. I'll watch it. Is there any nudity in it? Because in my opinion, unless there's blood and nudity, it's not a good movie. There are some exceptions, but for the most part. Yes, indeed, says April. Blood and nudity. Ain't no point in making a movie if you're not going to include those 2 things. Just my opinion. But it has valid merit. I miss the 80s, back when movies were movies and not platforms. You won't like it. Probably not. But I've never even seen a trailer for it, so I'm not really sure. I have heard about it, but I don't know enough detail to say whether I'd like it or not, or whether I'm interested or not. But I'm guessing since the protagonist is a cell phone app, there's probably no nudity involved. That's why God made Pornhub. What did he say? I didn't hear it. I was thinking about watching The Whale tonight. Yeah, that guy won some awards for that, and it was a nice comeback for Brendan Fraser. I don't know whether it's going to be over dramatic or not, or whether they press on that fat button a whole lot or not, or whether it's actually a good movie. But I know he won some awards, so it must be worth watching. I have that one too, but I hadn't watched it yet. Been very busy lately. Kind of piling up on movies and TV shows. I should be a movie critic because I've seen just about everything worth seeing, except for anything in the last decade. That's probably why I'm not a movie critic, why I don't have a channel that's dedicated to that, because I don't think they make good movies anymore. I mean, some of them are watchable, but not what I would call great. And I'm still waiting to see. Top Gun Maverick was pretty awesome. So there's hope. I mean, I'm seeing evidence that they're kind of figuring it out, that what they've been doing ain't working. But not enough evidence, because they're still coming out with lots of garbage. April says she saw it. Did you like it? Was it any good? Do you think I'd like it? Have I ever seen the movie Brazil? Yes. Which is the sequel to 1984, I believe. I saw it a long time ago. If it's the one I'm thinking about. Man, I think it is. It's kind of a sequel to 1984. It's not a direct sequel, but it's in the same universe. And The Whale, it was interesting. Well, that was the answer to one of the questions I asked. Was it good? Kind of interesting. Did you like it? Do you think I would like it? One of my favorite unsung heroes was with Robert De Niro. Well, he kind of shit that bad. But I used to love Robert De Niro. I don't much care for him anymore because he's an idiot. But he did that, not me. Lots of emotions. It's a very emotional movie. Okay. We're getting there. I'll not deny that Robert De Niro is one of our greatest actors of the last decade. That being said, I couldn't sit in a room with the guy without probably having some sort of altercation. Yes, De Niro was in Brazil. That is the movie I'm thinking about. There was a couple of other guys. There's 3 people in that movie of note that I can remember. I can't remember who they were. So I would recommend that you see The Whale, because April speaks so highly of it in such detail. So do see that. And also Brazil, because it's weird. And by the way, I have seen some very unusual movies. Before I made the decision to just see blockbuster movies, because at one point I was trying to see everything ever filmed, and I made a good dent in it, but there's just too many. There's just too much. So I cut out anything black and white and anything that was a B movie. But before that, I watched some interesting movies. The redhead from Soap was the mother. I don't know. April says, I'm not recommending anything. I'm not saying nothing about it. I just said I had a lot of emotions and it was interesting. I recommended it. I didn't say you did. I asked you what you thought about it, and based on your answer, I recommended it. That's what I said. I wasn't putting words in your mouth. Um, 88mm was a good movie. You should check that out. Very interesting. Good mystery. I'm just kind of reaching back in my mind and seeing things that stand out that I've seen. That was one of them. Of course, I've seen movies like The Serbian and Sallow, and I wouldn't recommend those to anybody. You got to have a strong stomach. Human Centipede is another one. Don't watch those movies. Trust me. Unless you've already seen them, and then you know what I'm talking about. Fab Daddy says, I like any movie without nudity and blood. Well, you're just quite the contrarian today, aren't you? Is that what you do? You just come to be contrary? That's all right. I don't care. No thoughts. It was shocking and intense. Well, that is a thought, which is why I recommended it, because that's generally why people go to watch movies, to be shocked and intensified, or to just see something they like. That's why I go to movies. I want to see something I haven't seen before. I like movies that after you watch it, you spend the next 2 or 3 days thinking about it. That's hard to come up with, but I like those kind of movies. The Centipede, the Human Centipede. Yuck, I couldn't watch that. Gross. Yeah, it's kind of rough. Dora the Explorer is awesome. That was a good movie, actually. I watched it. I completely put aside the fact that they were sexualizing a 9-year-old, but other than that, it was a pretty good movie. And if you think I'm joking, watch it again, and this time pay attention to some of those slides and jumps that she does. And somebody was looking at some things they shouldn't have been looking at. That's all I'm saying. Namely, the cameraman. Strictly Strange, welcome to the show. How goes it? Good to see you, my friend. Come on in. Take your shoes off. We're just jibber-jabbering about movies. I'm trying to hold it to a topic, but it's wandering. So, anyway, as I said, I cut out foreign movies, I cut out black and white movies, and I cut out B movies. So I just watched the ones that get critical acclaim, just the box office smashes at a certain point, at about 15 years in. So from that point, I just started watching the big ones. So I did miss a few of the more esoteric movies and the more underground type movies, and I try to catch up on those when I can, but... And then, about 8 years ago, I just got tired of watching movies because they started being garbage. And every one of them, it seemed like, was garbage. That's when they came out with the mills, you know, like the Bruce Willis mill. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but go back and look over Bruce's filmography, and you'll see movie after movie after movie after movie after movie after movie after movie where he comes in and spends 3 days on set, and they make a movie out of it, you know. It's just garbage. I'm not into that. So I just got tired of that. And now it seems like there's a couple of visionaries trying to make decent movies. Obviously, you got Quentin Tarantino. I'll watch anything he makes. There's a few directors that I like. But for the most part, movies just aren't good anymore. They just quit being good. And that's coming from an ardent movie lover. So go figure. I'm okay now. How are you, Fab Daddy? Asks Strictly Strange. April says, I love Doctor Strange. That was a good movie. Strange says, I'm a movie lover. Well, what movies have you seen recently that you would recommend? For the first time, I just saw Eyes Wide Shut and Practical Magic. Well, you're about a decade and a half behind, but good on you. I saw Eyes Wide Shut in the theater when it came out, and that is the only movie to date that I have ever got up and walked out on. I swear to God, it felt like the projectionist had his thumb on the screen, on the film, and the movie was running in slow-mo. That's what it felt like on the big screen. And me and my girlfriend went to see it because we were kind of kinky and we liked sexual movies, and we just went to watch that one to see what would happen, and we both hated it, and we got our money back and left in about 2 hours in, which is about 15 minutes left on the movie. We just got up and left. I have since seen it on a small screen and loved it. So I don't know what the problem was, but there was something going on that day in the theater. Maybe I was just the wrong frame of mind. Maybe I was too young to appreciate it. I don't know. But it wasn't good the first time I saw it. Did you watch Frailty? I haven't watched anything. I just told you earlier I've been piling up on movies. I've got probably 2 months worth of TV shows and movies that I haven't been able to see because I've been so busy. But it's on my list, and I will see it just as soon as I can sit down to watch a movie. Truth. Movies are very cookie cutter today. They really are. And it seems like they've got the wrong formula and everybody's using it. Good 90 films. Good. Most films in the 90s were decent. Yes. Welcome in, chat, everyone. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Taking care of business, says April. Movie sports update. Uh-oh. I hit the damn wrong button again. Kevin Cox. It is baseball season. Tampa Bay Rays are starting out with an astonishing 13-0 record. Go Rays. Go Rays. You almost got me. April says, hit those emojis on your screen. Woohoo. That was me and Napoleon Dynamite. I asked for my money back. Yeah, I didn't like that movie either. Everybody said they loved it, but I just didn't care for it. It's not my type of humor, I guess. Which one? Napoleon Dynamite. 2000s is when movies started taking a dive. I can tell you it's precisely when movies started taking a dive, and it wasn't 2000. It was 1995. And I'll tell you why it happened. Because movie companies decided to start making PG-13 and below. They stopped making rated R movies because they wanted to get the maximum capacity of everybody that could watch the movie. So all movies became bland and non-offensive starting at 1995. It is when the rated R dropped off of the movie theaters. And then you started getting horror movies that are rated PG. And in my opinion, nothing in a rated PG movie could possibly be terrifying. So what's the point in making a horror movie if there's no horror in it? So that's precisely when movies started going bad. Now, they didn't go bad until the 2000s, but they started back then when they dropped off that rated R. And I don't care if you disagree. That's a fact. PG movies are typically not good. There are some, but if you're going to see The Exorcist, you don't want it to be rated PG, is what I'm saying. I disagree. Strange. Oh, about 2000s? I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to me. I did. That's product of not reading the chat. I apologize. Watch The Green Door. The Green Door or The Green Mile? Terminator 2 was amazing, and that is a 90s movie. Yes, it was amazing. Spelling is a crux. I hear you. What? They have The Little Mermaid coming out soon, and Ariel is black. Okay. Ariel is black. And so is Cinderella. Movies are still good. I disagree. Movies can be good, but they typically are not. Like I said, Top Gun Maverick was good. That's a good movie. That's what I said, Fab Daddy, says April. No, I'm being hard on movies. I'm sure there's some good movies out there. I just hadn't seen them. Of course, I haven't seen everything. But, you know, what I've seen that's come out recently hasn't blown my skirt up, if you know what I'm saying. And I'll admit that I am of conservative persuasion. I'll admit that I'm a Christian. I'll admit that I'm old school. And those things probably play a role in my taste in movies. But, like I said, I stopped liking Robert De Niro when he came out bashing Trump because he made himself look like a fool and he embarrassed himself in front of God and everybody. And I just lost all respect for him. So I'm sure that plays a role. That being said, I would love for you to point out the movie that's considered great. I would implore you to point out any movie that'll stand up to E.T. that was made in the last decade. That'll be talked about for a generation like E.T. was. More filmmakers out there. That is true. Matrix was the last movie that made me think hard. I agree with that statement, I think. I can't call to mind anything that was more complicated. There's a lot going on in that movie that isn't being said. It's all subtext. I agree with you. There's things in that movie that people still have not gotten. Ideas and concepts, books that the movie's based on, visual cues that come directly out of philosophy. A lot of people didn't catch that movie in its entirety. It's a very complicated movie. April said, whatever that is. A blue ghost in a square head? Is that SpongeBob? I don't know. A Pac-Man ghost and SpongeBob go to a bar. Ha-ha! Coming up next, we're going to discuss anime. I'm just kidding. The butterfly effect made me stop doing things recklessly. Yeah, except for one tiny issue. Unfortunately, time travel is not possible. Sorry. But I understand why it would make you think, because I went through that. As I am now, you soon will be, and as you are, I once was. They'll come out with another E.T. that change that. Change that one too. Ugh. Yeah. I say just leave the originals alone. Well, see, that's the thing. This new ideology that has taken root in the world cannot create. And that's how you know it's of Satan, because they can't create anything. They can only conscript and destroy what's already there, but they cannot create anything. So that's why there's nothing new under the sun at the moment. A Philadelphia experiment. Bravo, Fab Daddy. This is how you reach back and pick a good movie, which is based on a true story, by the way. Not the movie Philadelphia, April. The Philadelphia Experiment. Bravo. That's a good one. It's well, deep thinking movie. What makes it deep is the fact that it's based on reality. Of course, there's some creative license and they do some things in that movie that isn't possible, but what they did do in reality was very, very interesting. Hell's Bells. I don't think I've seen that one. Is that like a slasher movie with a bunch of chicks in it? I think. For sure, it made me realize my actions, even minute, can change the entire future. Yes. To a degree, that is true. Here's the truth of the matter. At every waking moment, at every interval of time, no matter how small, you're faced with two choices. There are other multiple choices, but they always break down to two, one or the other. The world, time itself is binary. You can either make that way or you can make that way. No matter how many choices are initially in front of you, you break them down to two choices. And every waking moment has that possibility. So That being said, you can fork off and go in many different directions based on what you do, based on how you act. No, a butterfly's wings will not create a hurricane on the other side of the world. I'm sorry, that's just not physically possible. The second law of thermodynamics denies that reality and replaces it with its own. However, you can make decisions that will alter the course of your life. That's called free will. No, that was a statement, says April. Oh, Hell's Bells was a statement. I got you. Understood. What are you Hell's Bellsing about? That I said Philadelphia Experiment and not Philadelphia? The reason I said that is because there's two movies with basically the same name. And I figured you saw the prior one. That's why I singled you out, for no other reason. I assure you. Vanilla Ice, Ice Baby. Is that a movie? If it is, I haven't seen it. Who plays Vanilla Ice? And are they white? Because, you know, that's just the way the movies work. I've seen maybe two things in the last decade that I considered a good movie, good quality movie with nothing in it that bothered me. And by bothered me, I don't mean that I go to movies looking to be offended or anything like that. I just mean that don't make any sense to the movie industry. Just the remake of movies and how they've made them so different, yes. Well, that's because, again, they can't create anything of their own. They have to conscript the old stuff and make a statement out of it because that's built into the ideology. And unfortunately, that mind virus is taking root, and most people have fallen into it. It's a very ever-increasingly small group of people that can resist and think for themselves. And I advocate thinking for yourself. Or at the very least, getting with a group of people that are like-minded and let them think for you, one or the other. Leftover spaghetti or ramen is the real question. Any suggestions? Leftover spaghetti. That's just common sense, buddy. It's physical. Makes sense. Spaghetti is always better the second time after you leave it in the refrigerator overnight because it absorbs all of the other flavors that are in the refrigerator, and then you come away with a new thing in your mouth. So, spaghetti, definitely. And as for ramen, why would you leave over ramen? Throw that shit out. Feed the cats. Maybe. I don't know. I had Mexican tonight. I treated myself. I was hungry, and I went and got me a taco salad and a thing of nachos. Delicious. And no, I did not eat them both. I ate one and saved the next one for tomorrow. And then I was told I need to attend a cookout tomorrow, so I'll probably munch on it tonight. Not let it go to waste. I agree, Jake. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you. I appreciate the support. Thanks for your support. What was that? Seagram's? Was that Seagram's commercial? Can't remember. Some kind of old guy commercial. Two old guys. I think it was Seagram 7. I think that's what it was. It was right up there with Motel 6. We'll leave the light on for you. Yeah, I got what you were agreeing with. The mere fact that you pointed that out makes me think, well, what did you disagree with? Moderator o' mine. Ahoy, matey. We're almost to our destination. Yay. Hey, that's excellent. Where's your destination? Where are you going? What are you doing? I narrated a video for Tales, says Caucasian. Here's the length. The length. Jesus Christ, I'm not having a stroke. I can talk. Copy. I will go see that after the show. Thank you. It's not going to automatically start reading, is it? Okay, I got... Which one is it? I got a bunch of them here. Did you say? You did not say. English, do you speak it? No. Apparently not. Tortuga. It's Wendigo. All right, I'll watch Wendigo after the show. Please go support Caucasian Sasquatch's newest thing. It's called Wendigo on Tales from the Dark. The most recent one. I will watch it, and I will enjoy it, because I know you can read good. Apparently, I can read good, but I can't speak worth a damn. Tales told in the dark. Didn't I say that? No, I said tales from the dark. Sorry, my bad. See, I told you I couldn't speak word. Well... I read good. What you reading for? Well, gosh dang, you stumped me. What am I reading for? Intellect. Thank you, Bill Hicks. That's a good joke. Do you know who Bill Hicks is? And if you don't, find out. Excellent. It's been a nice podcast tonight. Laid back, easy going. Somebody please reach out to MVTV and apologize for me for whatever I may have said that pissed him off. Hilarious, says April. Caucasian says, about my truck. I'm sending it to Nissan. They've taken an interest in what my problem is. Well, that's excellent. Where is MVTV? I told you I pissed him off. He ain't been back. I don't know how. I don't know why, but it happens. Occupational hazard. How about email him and let him know that I hope he ain't too mad and he'll get over it and come back. You can't watch a man of strong opinion and then get mad when he has an opinion that you don't like. Everybody that's watched this show knows that I'm firm in what I believe. That's not going to change, ever. That's the thing you like about it, because I'm solid. Doesn't mean you have to agree with me. What did you say or do, Jake? I don't know. I think it's when we were talking about my heart attack. I think, but I'm not sure. Truth, Jake. Thank you, Strictly Strange. I appreciate you. You can't like somebody for a reason and then get mad at them when that reason goes against what you think. You know, I've never lied to you. I've never led you astray. I believe in what I teach. I'm concerned about things. I voice my opinion. I speak out loud for 2 hours, 4 times a week. I can't speak for 2 hours, 4 times a week and not eventually say something that's nonsense. You know, I don't even believe half of the shit that I say sometimes. Go figure. I don't think he's mad. I just think he is concerned. That's what I thought, but then he didn't come back. So I don't know. I said something. I just don't know what it was. I disagree. You're mostly water. Well, gosh dang it, you got me there. April says, I'm fire. Watch out, water. LOL. I am mostly water, but what part of me isn't is solid. Fire, air, water, and earth, says April. Well, you're one of those things. I'm hungry, so watch out. Water puts out. Well, that's good information to know. I guess I need to date water. Might change my look. Might change my dry spell. See what I did there? Sometimes I'm so clever I hurt myself. It's hilarious. One thing I'm not is dehydrated. I'll give you that. I'm just airhead, LOL. I'm joking. Yeah, I know. I do know. I'm just joking back. I'm not being serious at all. I do like the flag, though. It's very nice. I'll have to wait till next year to wear the shirt. But I'll wear it. It comes natural for me. Ha-ha. Well, you're just a deep thinker. That's what you are. Sometimes you get so deep in thought that you don't look at reality while it's happening. You have to process it and then catch up to it. There's nothing wrong with that. It just means you're smart. But to everybody else, it looks like you're an airhead. But I've always said that, so I stand by that statement. The smart part, not the airhead part. Isn't it cold where you are? Not at the moment. Right now I'm sweating like balls. It's cold during the wintertime here. I'm only 800 miles away from you. In the same time zone, by the way. No, I don't filter. I don't think before I speak sometimes. I have that problem too. I don't have a filter. Whatever is, if it's in my mind, chances are it's leaping out of my mouth before I can catch it. Unfortunately, that causes trouble sometimes. It's cold here in Denver. It's like 31 degrees. Strictly Strange, bundle up, buddy. Summer's coming, I promise. It's just around the bend. Ooh, sweating balls. Ha-ha. Hey, Julie, welcome to the show, sweetheart. Come on in, take your shoes off, set a spell. Get one of these gentlemen to rub your toes. Tonight's topic is television and movies. If you have anything to add, please do. Of course, we can go anywhere you like. Doesn't have to remain television and movies, but that's just a through line. I'm trying to have a theme for every show. Doesn't typically work for my particular style, but I'm trying. I'm more of a running gunner, but, you know, I'm making the effort. For your entertainment, of course. Where is Strictly Strange? I don't see him in chat. Well, I just spoke to him, so he must be here. There he is. Best new show I've seen since Breaking Bad is Snowfall. I have not seen Snowfall. What's it about, Strictly Strange? I will check it out. The best show I've seen on television is That's a hard question. Obviously, I started the show by talking about Star Trek Picard Season 3. Caveat, only Season 3. The other two shouldn't even exist. Season 3. That was a good show. I wouldn't call it great. The last 2 episodes will be great, I think. The last night, the penultimate episode was good by every metric. It was great. Memorable. So, next episode, the last episode, will probably be fantastic. I don't know. I have to report on that later, but they knocked it out of the park last night. I watched like 10 things, and I can't think of a thing that really impressed me. Like what I would consider great. You don't see him in chat? Do you not see the thing that says best new show I've seen since Breaking Bad is Snowfall? Do you not see that? Maybe hit refresh. Because I see him. It's about how the CIA funded the war against communism in the 80s in Central America. How the agency did it was sell cocaine and crack on the U.S. streets. It's based on some truths. It's based on more than truths. That's exactly what they did. The Contra movement was entirely funded by cocaine moved through Mena, Arkansas. Click on the all chat, not top chat. I'm on live chat. I only have 2 options, live chat and top chat. I'm on live chat. I see you, bud. So everybody else sees Strictly Strange. Maybe you should try to refresh. That's the only thing I can think of. Or toggle through top chat, live chat. But I don't know what to tell you. I see him on both of my chats. I see him in OBS and I see him on the website. He is there, I promise. He's not a figment of my imagination. Got it. Thanks, Caucasian. Strictly Strange says, I know that, but the show is fictional. But yes, the Contra and the Freeway, Rick Ross, yep, is how they funded that war. Yep. Rick Ross and that fella that flew the airplane, whose name escapes me now, that Tom Cruise played in a movie. That's 3 different movies that talk about the same events. Interesting. American Made was the name of that movie, which was a great movie. I recommend you see it. Anything Tom Cruise is in, I recommend you see it. I've been watching The Mandalorian. You mean the Woman DeLorean? Also, Boba Fett and Andor, I'm sorry. I not love Star Wars, but these are good. They started good. I'll give you that. Mandalorian has done a bait and switch and now is all about Bo-Katan, not Din Djarin. He's faded to the background because that's the way of the politics. And selling Baby Yoda toys. Boba Fett should have never been made. That was a very missed opportunity there. Because, and I'll tell you why, Boba Fett is a straight-up killer. He is the guy that Darth Vader calls to do shit he don't want to do. You understand what I'm saying? Darth Vader calls Boba Fett to go handle shit. And they presented a fat old man that his sidekick, I can't think of her name, the girl, robot girl, had to do all this fighting for him. And he spent 90% of his own show in the Bacta tank, and 2 episodes were dedicated to the Mandalorian in his show. They had to bring the Mandalorian to keep the ratings up to finish the episode out. I mean, the season. So, And Andor was good. That was a good show. Did April block him on her filter? I don't think so. I don't mind Bo-Katan being Mandalore. I don't mind it either. But what I mind is it being in the show Mandalorian, which is about Din Djarin, which is what they've sold to us for the last 2 seasons. I don't like the bait and switch. If they made a Bo-Katan series, then I would be all right with that. It's not about the woman part of it. I'm not against women. What I'm against is bait and switches. I'm against being sold 90-pound women that beat up 300-pound men without effort, because that's going to get somebody killed one day because people believe the things they see. I'm against that. I'm not against women at all. April says, I don't think so, Caucasian. Strictly Strange. YouTube does weird stuff like that. I'm not surprised. I'm here, though. Personally, I don't know who can see me. I can see you, buddy. Bo-Katan was Mandalore. I can't see that word. Is that pro-tem or pro-term in Legends canon? I agree. I'm not saying that she wasn't. I have no problem with Bo-Katan. What I have a problem with is her in the Mandalorian's position in the show, because the show is called The Mandalorian. Well, she is a Mandalorian. Yes, but not the Mandalorian. One is a lot. Pro Tim, gotcha. I didn't block him. I am subbed. I checked. He's not blocked on my end. Well, he's not blocked on mine either. It's YouTube. YouTube does weird things. But also, this season of Mandalorian has been all over the place, by the way, just so you know. It started out with 2 episodes with the Mandalorian in vastly different places. Then they went to a different show for an episode and introduced people that were in the first season for a minute as if they were full-time characters. And then that was like a backdoor pilot kind of thing. And then they went back to Mandalorian, and then they switched the whole plot line up. So it's been all over the place. Why, YouTube? She wasn't Mandalore only because she didn't have the helmet, saber, or the mythosaur. Well, she had the helmet. She lost the saber because Din Djarin beat her for it, fair and square, and she wasn't about to try to attack him to get it back. And she didn't believe in the mythosaur at all until she saw it with her own eyes. But I get what you're saying. Thank you. She had a helmet. She just didn't wear it because she doesn't believe in the same thing that the Mandalore believes in. He is hook, line, and sinker with the mantra, this is the way, you know. He believes to never take his helmet off and all that, which is utterly nonsense, but that's what a Mandalorian is, so we'll stick with that. She didn't give a shit. She just take her helmet off all willy-nilly because she wasn't in that religion, which is the Mandalorian religion, until she saw the mythosaur, and then she had a change in faith. That change in faith apparently propelled her into this leading spot of the TV show, and now it's the Bo-Katan show. So, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I'm eating some sketty, and y'all are speaking Chinese to me. I have no idea what y'all are talking about. The Mandalorian. Star Wars. Just another TV show, brother. It's okay. We'll get back to something you recognize very soon. You meant all chat, right? Not to chat. Now I'm lost. All chat. I'll go with all chat. I don't know what you're talking about. Top chat, I mean. Yeah. Top chat. You should be on live chat. That's the most current version of the chat. I don't know what top chat does. I guess it takes the most looked at messages and puts them up top, I guess. I don't know how that works, but live chat is the one I've always used, so. All right. Strictly Strange said, y'all speaking Chinese? I don't even know what a Bo-Katan is. The only reason I know what it is because I have a son who loves Star Wars. And if I want to have a conversation with him, I ought to know what he's talking about. So I looked into it. I think she is just adding dimension to the show. Okay, nothing wrong with strong female characters. Nothing at all. I love Ripley in Alien, which is an actual strong female character. And it doesn't sacrifice her femininity to do so. But I agree with you. In my book, she has only just started to gain focus in the show. I don't think she'll take it over. Okay, we'll see. I hope you're right. Because that's what I'm arguing against, not the fact that she's a woman or strong. I have a filter. It says top chat, then under it says all. Then if I was you, I'd hit all. That's probably the equivalent of live chat. I don't know. Messages. Yep, all. LOL, it's true, says Strictly Strange. Kev, you're being awful quiet. Do you not watch TV? This is to you guys. Thank you, Kev. We tell him I just did a shot for him. And I like the flask. It's very nice. And this is like a 2-shot glass, by the way. 2 shots. Cheers back at you. Assalamu alaikum. And now I have to pee. Y'all hang on and check this out. I'll be right back. Be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and share button, and leave comments down below, and support my work by going to paypal.me/jakejohnsonband. Or if you're a CashApp user, go to $ Jake Johnson Band. I appreciate all your support, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And now, let's finish this video. All right. There's some elasticity to the Mandalorian structure. Converts are like Amish. The Concord Dawn is like the Protestant, and the Death Watch are those snake handlers. April says, he's smiling, meaning Kevin. Strictly Strange says, I drink in a brew. I accidentally knocked over my shine yesterday. Oh, that's terrible. Sorry to hear that. April says, all righty then. Sorry. Coverts are like Amish. Very, very strict and exceptionally disciplined. This is the way. Like, subscribe, share, and feed Jake. Oh, Lord, I hadn't heard that in a while. Feed Jake, now I lay me down to sleep. That's me. Pray the Lord my soul to keep. I got my own theme song. I die before I wake. Feed Jake. Feed Jake. I need the money. My best friend, right through it all. That's right. Feed Jake. If I die before. Say it loud. Say it proud. Feed Jake. Feed Jake. Thank you. Thank you very much. LOL. I just thought Amish were pilgrims. No. Amish is a religion. Pilgrims were not Amish. They were pilgrims. Pilgrim means of the pilgrimage, which means they came from somewhere else to here. That's what pilgrim means. Feed Jake. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you so much. And I would not mind if you put a little kibbles and bits in my bowl because, you know, I'm a hungry puppy. Pilgrims were Puritans, yes, but they were British Puritans. In the case of America, there's been pilgrims all over the world, but the ones we're talking about, Puritans. Oh. Amish came from the Dutch communities. It's a Dutch religion. Unless they're on Rumspringa. And then it's, let's get banged by everybody. You're welcome so much. Thank you, ma'am. I'll be your friend to the end. What's wrong with Dutch? Nothing's wrong with Dutch. I'm just telling you that's who they are. Why would you think there's something wrong with them just because I pointed it out? Bo-Katan is a native Mandalorian, but raised by the House standards, both on Mandalore and on Concord Dawn. Neither hide their face. Well, I'll be damned. I don't know anything about Mandalorian religions, so I can't argue with you on that. I just know what the Mandalorian, whom the show is about, suggested his religion was. I may be Dutch. You're not Dutch. Just saying. Ha 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 ha. You are Irish and English with a little smidgen of German in there. That's it. No Dutch in you, baby. Remember, the surname of your family is Allen, which is an abbreviated version of McCullen, which is a big clan in Ireland. What's a Mandalore? A planet in Star Wars. Just give me some Pedro Pascal and I'm happy, says Julie Berryman. Well, you won't have that if Bo-Katan takes over the show. He is clearly stepping back so that she can. Why, I don't know, but that's the way of the world these days, so I would imagine it's political. which is the problem that I have with the show, not the fact that she's a woman. That doesn't bother me at all. I actually like Katie Sackhoff, the lady that plays her. I'm actually kind of digging on her, but I liked her in that, what was the name of that show where she played the sheriff's deputy? Walt was the big sheriff guy. What was the name of that show? I really thought she was hot in that. I would have married that girl. What's the name of that show? Can't think of it now. You know what I'm talking about? Longmire. That was it. Longmire. That's a great show. That's one that I've seen that's great on TV. Longmire. I have Cherokee in my family named Hatchet. Okay. So you got a little Cherokee in you. Most people do. Coverts are comprised of foundlings who are hand selected and adopted in by surviving in war zones and being basically tougher than everyone else who died. Okay. I don't know. I haven't seen it since April. However, and I hate to tell you this, to be this way about it, and though there is bloodline involved, Hatchet is a married-in family name. Your actual bloodline comes from the Allens. But it did split when you were born from your father's side. So I guess that does matter. But usually mitochondrial DNA is what passes on genetics. So if you don't believe me, ask the Jews. They seem to have a handle on that. Ask anybody that's bald. They'll tell you that it came from their mother's side of the family because mitochondrial DNA is what causes DNA to pass. But there you go. It is prophesized the future galactic unifier will be an unnamed Mandalore, hence a foundling. Well, Din Djarin was a foundling. Baby Yoda is a foundling. Hence the existence of coverts in the way. Could you say hence one more time? I'm done nerding out. Did you have a nerdgasm last night at about 2 o'clock in the morning? Then you, sir, are not a nerd. In order to be an official nerd, you actually have to be a Star Trek fan. And I assure you, I saw it with my own eyes. I watched as it dropped. Star Trek Picard Season 3, Episode 9, the penultimate episode. And as soon as the credits rolled, I flipped over my internet from that to the internet and just watched a nerdgasm that just covered the screen. It was like oozing down the screen. Nerds all over the world simultaneously exploded into rapture. It was beautiful. Henceforth unto these amongst my brethren. Where's the roll? Huh? The rum. Where's the rum? Right here. Caucasian cheers. You guys are hilarious. I love y'all so much. Y'all are awesome. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Thank you very much for keeping my day bright and giving me something to talk about and somebody to argue with. I need that, and I appreciate it. If I didn't have you, I wouldn't have nothing. I'm not drinking tonight. Probably not till I'm done with business and driving. Probably smart. I am drinking tonight, but only a little. Only a half a pint. We love you, Jake. Thank you, sweetheart. I love you, too. I really do. And thank you for, you know. Oh, way to make that not special anymore. We love you, Jake. We love everybody, but you're included. So Wednesday at the earliest is when you can start drinking. I got you. We just made it to the hotel. What kind of hotel are you at? Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. There's a deep cut. Anybody? Anybody? Mueller? Mueller? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am old. Yay, on the beach. Excellent. Fort Lauderdale? Or Vero? Or Coco? You tell me. So I'll leave you with this. If you were on a deserted island and you could take one movie, what would it be? Nice. Gonna see Kenny Chesney, Eric Church, and Shania Twain and more. Wow. That sounds like an event-filled evening. Once I'm vanned up, I'll be looking for a funky little camper. Fort Lauderdale. I lived in Fort Lauderdale for a little while. Right there on the beach. Right across the street. You want to talk about expensive? The monkeys will drive you crazy. Watch out for the monkeys. They will come in and steal your shiny things. The Last Outlaw. That'd be your movie? The Last Outlaw? Anybody else? What would be your movie if you were on a deserted island and you could only take one movie? It's a 3-day fest. Epic. Sounds epic. Enjoy. That mean you're not going to be here Sunday? Doing. Is that doing or doing? Doing? I get the two confused. Biochemically, it's the same word, I know, but still. She writes D-O-I-N-G, and I say, is that doing or doing? And then she'll respond, D-O-I-N-G. That clears it up. All right. I'm messing with you, April. Anybody? One movie. You get to take one movie. Maybe third choice is Breakfast Club or Reservoir Dogs for second. That's 3 movies. You only get one. Mine would be called, I don't know, I'm Somewhere, LOL. Yours, Don't Fool Anybody, would be Dirty Dancing, and we all know it. Roadhouse. Mine would be Spaceballs. Tragic. The Last Outlaw. It's hard to find. I'm sure that I've seen it. Jeannie, what would your movie be? Fab Daddy? Anyone? Strictly Strange? I could live with Blazing Saddles. That'd be a great last movie to watch for the rest of your life. Tropic Thunder would be a good one. It's got a little bit of everything in it. And it's totally rewatchable. All right. Well, that does it. It is 10:10. 10:10, rented 10. All right. I love you guys. I want to go to bed now because I got a long day tomorrow. I got to attend a cookout, and then I got to go do a show. But it's close to home, so I'll be back. April says, oh, it would be Jailhouse Rock. Jailhouse Rock. Okay. That's a good movie. Anything with Elvis, yes. Well, here's the bad part of this scenario. You're on a deserted island. That means there's no electricity, and so you wouldn't have a VCR to watch it on. So you're screwed. Good night. Thanks for watching. I love you.